It is Bruins Benders post-game live on the Inside the Rink YouTube channel with Matty and Smitty. Click subscribe today. Get your Bruins Benders merch also at insidetherink.com/Bruins-Benders. Follow us on the social media at Bruins Benders. And the Bruins get a gutsy win today, 6-3 over the 31st ranked San Jose Sharks at TD Garden. What a day.
Yeah, but wow. What a day is right.
Wow.
I mean, just a huge win. A huge win against the terrible, horrible, awful San Jose Sharks team. What a gutsy job by that team to just dig deep in the third period. Hey, look, a third period comeback win. Let's be positive. Let's be positive about this game.
Anyways, we're Captain Positivity today.
We are most of the time. I mean, on balance, we're very, very positive about the Bruins, especially when they're playing as well as they are right now. We are.
I wouldn't call it balanced.
I mean,
yeah,
Jesus, sure. I can't even say with a straight face. But yeah, let's be positive about it. Look, Charlie Coyle, first 2 goals this month, and it's January 20th.
Yeah.
So that's positive. Here comes Charlie from Weymouth. Gonna go on a hot streak here.
Bender?
The season on, he's going to be nails. Can't wait. And Mason Lowry looked really good today, I thought. That's actually positive. That's actually positive.
That's actually an actual positive.
Yeah, he ran the power play well. He had a couple of assists. Do you have a couple of assists?
I think so.
I think he did.
Yes, he. I thought he
had one assist. One assist. And he was +3.
Yeah. Okay, so that's much better.
Yeah, and 2 shots. So look, he might be one of those guys that the more he plays, like the more he gets into a rhythm, and the better off he is. Like he might be one of those guys who can't play, 10 minutes a night, 13 minutes a night, 15 minutes. He needs to play, 20 and change and be out there and be involved. Maybe that's something that they need to look at and get him out there more, because lately it's been a net positive. I mean, still some signs in the defensive end you don't love, but if he's going to be producing offense and doing well in the power play, and when he's out there, the team's a plus, those are all good signs. So overall, Korpisalo today, late in the third, when the Bruins are hanging on for dear fucking life, when Marchand takes that horrible penalty, makes 2 unbelievable saves, which is the difference in the game, in my opinion. Because if they score there, the Bruins lose the game. I'm convinced they lose.
I'm 100% with you. Like, that was such a horrific. I'm in the interrogation room right now.
Yeah, you're like, what you got weird? You got like a serious mood lighting thing happening.
Like, this is like
now it's
shining or something.
Yeah, now you look like you're being interrogated. Before it looked like you were at the club and you were just, in a dark corner, scoping out the ladies. Now, now it looks more like you might be waterboarded soon.
I'm like Alfred Hitchcock or something. I'm just coming out and talking about the next episode. Here's okay. Take your positivity, turn the sumbitch sideways.
Okay.
Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Why doesn't Matt Potter play more? Like, why doesn't he get more responsibility? He goes out and gets 2 assists when they desperately need it tonight. He makes a great pass to Coyle for a goal.
Correct.
He makes another rush up the ice that leads to a Coyle goal again. Like, what are we doing?
That line in the first 2+ periods was garbage. And he was involved in that. He wasn't good. That whole line wasn't good, but he wasn't good either. None of them were. But when they needed it, that line showed up. And, praise to all of them. Well done. That was their best. The first goal was their best shift of the game by far. Like, not even close. If I can't remember who it was. It might have been Scott McLaughlin. Put out some stats of when they were out on the ice. They were outshot 11-4 and out high danger chance 4-0 with that group on the ice in the first 2 periods. Like, bad bad.
Okay.
So, that's part of the reason. But here's the thing. Like, other people can be bad and then still get an opportunity.
Right. And that's the thing too. Right.
Like Charlie Coyle.
Mhm.
I mean, he's been a ghost
Keep running them out there. Yeah.
for months. But he's out there every shift.
Yeah.
So why does Patra not get the same? It's the way they handle young kids, and it's terrible. It sucks, and that's why the young kids don't develop, because they don't want to develop them. They want to squeak into the playoffs and then lose in the first round, so Jacobs can sell some more hot dogs. I mean, for fuck's sake, sorry, John, but like the entire development department needs to be sent out to sea on a boat that never returns. Bye. Bring some new people in that can develop the kids.
Yeah, I mean, you need Patra desperately. You need Lysell, something out of Lysell. You need these guys, because you're going to get yourself pigeonholed into having an agent group that leaves, and potentially nobody wants to come here. And then you don't have any access to trade. So what do you do then? Like, if you're banking on the fact that you can go sign a couple of guys and spend some money when the cap goes up and you have some space, that's all good and well and dandy, but they've got to sign here.
Yeah.
Like, that's taking a risk.
Oh yeah. A huge risk. You're going to have to overpay guys by a lot to get them to come here.
Yes. Right now. Yes.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, what's the draw?
There's no draw.
What's the draw?
There's no draw other than an original 6 team and maybe playing with Pastrnak. There's no draw. There isn't.
Yeah.
North End has some pretty fucking good food. It's about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that.
If you're playing with a team that comes in here, 2 or 3 times a year, you hit that place.
Yeah. You can stay in an apartment that's, 750 square feet for $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Live in the North End.
I don't know. I mean, I just think that Patra, if those stats are correct, and they are, I'm sure, then it doesn't mean that Patra's bad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. But
who's he playing with? Coyle and
Marchand.
Marchand. Okay.
Yeah.
So Marchand, who hasn't been playing that well at all.
Oh, he hasn't.
Coyle, who's been playing worse.
Yeah.
Okay, and Patra.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to really examine that and see how much of that is Patra and how much of that is those other 2 guys turning the puck over.
Well, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one played well. Like, he included didn't play well in the beginning of the game. Everybody was slow and kind of out of it. Like, they got a lead in the first. They didn't really deserve it. The Sharks kind of carried the play there. Mm-hmm. So, I agree with you though that he should be playing. Here's what I want to see, especially because I'm not sure what's going to happen with this team. I still don't think they're going to make it. And for the second half of the season, I want to see them play the kids. I mean, we've been talking about it all along, but that's really what I want to see. I want Patra, I want Merkulov, and I want Lysell in the lineup, and I want them to play actual minutes and see what we have. That's what I want.
If you're not going to go with Beecher, Geeky, Frederick after this year, like these guys, Kepke, why would you want to play them over guys that you really need to develop to try to help you for next season?
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
They'll do it, but they'll do it because they think it gives them a better chance to win now. But what are you winning now? Actually, in actuality, what are you winning now? What do they think you're going to win now? It's not the Stanley Cup. It's certainly not that thing.
No,
they're not winning that thing.
No.
So what do they think it's gonna? What do they think it's gonna do? They're gonna get an extra win or 2.
Yeah.
And sell a Cole Kepke jersey.
They're gonna get 2.
No.
They're gonna get 2 playoff games at home.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't benefit you at all as the Bruins. None. So just like what you've been saying all along about how they handle Providence. Why are those guys not playing together? Like sometimes they do, but not all the time. Why not? Why are you playing Matthew Patra with Max Jones and some other schmuck? Why Selin Merkulov play with some other? Like, why is that happening?
Why is Patrick Brown your top line center at Providence? Why? He's 32 years old. There's no future here.
I just don't get it. Like, are we trying to win games in Providence? Like, I love the Providence Bruins. It's a great take. People should go. They should watch the games. It's fun. You have access to the guys. They're friendly. You can get autographs. It's cheap. You know, you can get drunk as fuck and watch hockey and they fight and stuff. Like, it's a good take. Go down there and enjoy it. But if they're trying to win games in the AHL, they're out of their fucking minds. Like, literally out of their minds. Stop doing that. Develop the players you need for the NHL team. For fuck's sake, who cares if you win the Calder Cup or whatever the fuck it is? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I know. Mason Lowry with the most ice time.
Ones. Mayor will have a fucking day for them all. It'll be fantastic. Everybody go down to Providence. We'll have a parade. We'll set the trash barrels on fire like they do, in the summertime, the water fire thing. I don't get me started even on that.
Talk about your Italian food. I mean, talk about your Italian food. Go to Providence.
Federal Hill and Providence might be better than the North End.
Okay, we have some roadies on our pod here, usually watching and commenting. Yeah, so they could throw a little bit of confirmation out there. But Federal Hill,
Federal Hill and Providence might be better than North End.
Okay, wow. All right, Bruins 14-7-3 at home right now. They are in the second wild card position, 1 point ahead of Columbus, but there's 2 games in hand for the Blue Jackets and also 2 games in hand for the Canadians, who have 50 points. The Rangers, lo and behold, who were a dumpster fire for 2 months, are 4 points behind you and have 2 games in hand.
You know what the Rangers are in their last 10?
What's that?
6-1-3.
6-1-3.
They're playing like the Rangers we thought they were.
And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Rangers were in the playoffs.
I wouldn't either.
They're one of the most talented teams in the conference.
100%.
And they'll make a deal. What if they get JT Miller and he's rejuvenated?
Sure.
Now you're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Flyers are also at 48 points. They have 1 game in hand with Boston. And then there's like Detroit and Pittsburgh, 46 points. Like, the only team out of this is the Sabres. Really, the Islanders are 43. Like, it's just a logjam, and you're going to have to win a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean, essentially the playoffs start now. Like, it's now. Mm-hmm. Every game. I mean, you hate to say it, but every game now is a must-win. You could lose and drop 3 or 4 spots depending on what other teams do, because everybody's still bunched up.
Sure. So you drop 4 in a row, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And then the Bruins, 3 games now in 4 days coming up, and it's
Devils, Ottawa, Colorado.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, it's at New Jersey, Ottawa at home for the rematch, and then at home against Colorado, and then you have at Buffalo, who's playing much better, and then you have Winnipeg at home. That's the end of your month, right there. So, I mean, how many? I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
4 playoffs.
How many points you going to get out of that? That's 10 possible points. How many points you getting out of that? At Devils.
They don't match up well with the Devils.
Lost.
Yeah.
Ottawa the next night at home.
I don't know.
It should be a win. I mean, you should have beat them on the road.
I mean, yeah, it should be.
It should be a win. Then Colorado at home.
That's an L.
Yeah. And then at Buffalo, which should be a win. And then Winnipeg at home. So you're looking at 4 points out of 10 right there, maybe.
Maybe. If you're lucky, 4 points out of 10.
Right. So,
I mean, look, I'm beyond the point where you can say any team is a surefire win for this team.
All right.
Because of the way they play, they could have 0 points. I wouldn't be surprised if they had 0 points out of that stretch, or 1 or 2. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with 6 or 7 points either. Right. They could go any number of ways. If tonight, if their posts went in, they have like 8 goals tonight.
Yeah.
But it's against the San Jose Sharks who can't score and they still gave up 30 shots to this fucking team who scored 1 goal in each of like their last 4 games.
Yeah. Yes. You know,
Their in zone coverage and off the rush coverage right now is awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
And it's been that way all year. So like we've talked about, they're getting back to their defensive identity or this or that. Like they've had the same issues all year long. They still don't do anything particularly well. They still can't really score, even though they had 5 today, or 6, 2 empty netters. They still can't defend. Their goalies are playing better. So that's maybe the one area where they're maybe league average now. I don't know. But their specialty teams still aren't good. No. So like they don't really do anything well. They're still a minus whatever on the season. Like,
yeah,
teams that have minus goal differential don't make the playoffs. They just don't.
They just don't. How about, okay, I'm going to give you the last 4 games before the break, before the 2-week break. Okay.
Yep.
Rangers at home, Wild at home, at the Rangers, Vegas at home. So your next 9 games, there's only really Buffalo in there. That's
I say they split with the Rangers and lose the other ones.
Okay.
Especially if Minnesota gets some of they're really beat up right now. So they're kind of in a little bit of a losing streak. But if they get, Brodin back and Spurgeon back and Kiprusoff back, they'll beat you. They're one of the best road teams in the league, Minnesota. They're like 16-5 and 4 or something like that on the road. So they're going to beat you. And then who was the other one?
Vegas, Wild.
Oh, Vegas. Yeah. I mean, Vegas is better than you.
Yeah, Vegas at home. Yeah, right before the break. So there's your next 9 games right before the break. There you go. So you had 18 possible points.
I think they would be extremely lucky to get half points.
To get half points. Yeah. I think you'd be
that's not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it, but I'll tell you, it's going to keep them within ball.
Oh, yeah. They'll be in the ballpark, and then they'll make a move for a depth defenseman and keep all their guys and run it back.
Right.
Can't wait. Really excited for the direction and the future of this team. I think it's really in good hands, honestly.
Sure.
I think Sweeney should sign an extension.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. All right. Here come the comments. Hejman comes back. Nice to hear from you again. Score should have been 5-0 after the first, but the Bruins couldn't score at a UMass Amherst frat party. Another Hasek performance in the making against Boston. Losing to San Jose would be absolute rock bottom. Odyssey's team struggles against junior Shark Pack sites. Let's see. Sell high on Brazeau. 2 out of 3. Coyle, Geeky, Frederick, Kepke for a late round pick. Potts, second center. Lindholm, third center, which I think you saw today.
He was, thirds. Yep.
Yeah. Third line center at $7.75 million.
Yeah.
Bring Lysell and Merck up. Keep Vincenzo. Let Wallstrom get his confidence back in Providence. I think the Wallstrom thing is. I think the ship has sailed. I think he's probably another team or 2 up from being out of the league. To be honest with you, and I think he might be.
Yeah. I mean, look, they tried it. He's been, fine, but you've said it. There's kids that should be playing instead of that. You should have looked at your kids before you signed a guy like that. Even, so, I don't want to see guys like Wallstrom blocking Lysell and Merkulov anymore. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to see Cole Kepke blocking guys like the young kids. I don't want to see Beecher in the lineup anymore. I'm tired of it. Yeah. I don't care if he kills penalties. I don't care if he's fast. I don't care if he wins faceoffs. He can't catch a pass to save his life. They passed it to him in the middle of the ice tonight. It was in his skates. Most players in the league can kick that thing to the stick and keep going. He fumbles it, turns it over, and it's in the net. Like, if you're not going to be a positive, then what are you doing out there?
I don't know.
Like I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. Put a guy in there that can play, that can catch a pass. Like, you wonder why they can't gain any, have any zone entry or create any offense 5-on-5. It's because they can't pass and can't catch a pass. The one time that they completed a series of passes, it resulted in a goal. Granted, it was on the power play, but it was a good entry by Lowride. Then it was like to the left wing board, back into the middle, back to the left, around the net, in front, goal. Like pass, goal. 5 passes, not even 3, 5.
Yeah.
And when you do shit like that, good things happen. But
sure.
Do it like once a game.
Right. What was it that Odysseys just said something I thought was, he says don't make any hockey trades because it could really be a detriment if they make hockey trades. I want them to make trades, but I'm really scared about who's making them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm torn on that because I feel like they should do it because I don't want assets to walk away for nothing. I don't want them to let a guy walk when they could move him now and get something in return for him. Yeah. So the kind of trades I would like to see them make are trading those type of guys away for picks and then firing the front office and having someone else make the picks.
Yeah.
That's what I
hear you. I hear you. T-Boss says, so we beat the second worst team in the NHL who are rebuilding, not easily, by the way. And Korpisalo really played well, says Jones. Gave them a chance to eventually wake up and score some goals, like you said. How do you grade his performance today?
I thought he did play well. I said,
back up, and if he can do that, then that should be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the difference in the game was the saves he made. Those series of 2 saves he made there on the power play when it was, they score and tie it up. Then it's the air comes out of the building. And, you're in big trouble, going forward. So those were huge saves at the time. And, I think he played well especially for a guy who hasn't played in, like a week and a half or something.
Yeah, it was a while.
So, I mean, early on, maybe a little rust there, but, as the game went on, he got better and was good, when he really good when they needed him to be.
No doubt. Dan Maiden only just woke up, didn't realize how early the game was today. Won't be able to join in on the post game, but we'll listen later. Have a good rest of your night, gentlemen. Pete Blackburn trying to not hurt his feelings. I don't want the Bees to make the playoffs. Probably a lot of Bruins fans that can relate to that place. I wouldn't want that, but retool the fuck out of it. So that's Odysseys. Look, I want them to make the playoffs. I do. I mean, even if I think it could help them more, I don't know if it'll help them more if they don't. Like, I honestly don't, because I really don't think they're going to fire people this year. I really don't. I mean, Sacco, they'll probably get another coach.
Yeah.
But I don't think the management changes anyway. I really don't. Not after that vote of confidence, not after, I just don't think Sweeney is a guy who thinks his job is threatened. I just have a bad feeling that they're going to stay with him. So, I want them to make the playoffs because, as a fan, I want them to get the best chance it takes to at least try to make some sort of run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm torn by the whole thing because I do want them to make it, but I don't think it's in the best interest of the organization long term. It isn't. Because I'm with you. I don't think if they make the playoffs, I don't think changes will be made, and changes do need to be made up and down the organization. So as a fan, I want them to make it and I want them to have a deep run because I like to see them do well.
I hear you.
But for the overall health of the team and my sanity, I'd probably be better off if they didn't make it and they cleaned house and the team and me could start fresh.
Yeah, sure. Right. Aussie Bruins 37. No Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli's out with injury. Wonder what the result would be with their leading scorer in the lineup. Do you think we'll hear the Toffoli name again linked to the Bruins? That's just been many times before.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it.
I mean, it could be. It would be probably a pretty good fit, good fit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
also makes sense.
Yeah, they could use a guy who could score, certainly. So, yeah, I mean, I think he would be a pretty good fit for them. He's been on some teams that have won, so he has some winning DNA that could certainly, needs to rub off on some of the guys in that room. So, yeah, I mean, I would be interested in that. You can't really play the who's in and out of the lineup thing, though. I don't think, just because the Bruins would without arguably their top two defensemen. So if they're both there, Parker Wotherspoon's probably not playing, and you don't get some of the the gaffes that he made tonight. So that goes both ways, I think.
Jonesy asked that does San Jose have the nucleus to become a good team eventually?
I think they do, because I think Celebrini is the real deal. And I think Will Smith is playing as one of the youngest players in the league still, I believe.
And they'll have another top pick. I mean, could they get Hagens again?
Yeah, and they'll have another top pick. So you have Celebrini, Smith down the middle. Askarov is pretty good. I mean, has good numbers on a bad team. He has a 920 and like a 237 or something like that. Before tonight, he had a 237. So he's putting up pretty good numbers on a bad team.
Yes.
So if they have the goalie thing figured out and they have the centers, you build down the middle. If they can get, I think they need some help on defense.
They do. I mean, if you look at it, CC and Ferraro are essentially your top two, and then Liljegren was someone you picked up because Toronto didn't want him. Like, that's not a good defensive group.
No.
CC and Ferraro are your top two guys.
Yeah, so they need help on defense, and maybe if they start to put things together, they'll go out and sign a guy and draft a guy. So and they'll draft high again. So they have the makings to to start to turn it around, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot. But they do have some good complementary pieces. Like Granlund's pretty good. Like Eklund's pretty good. Or Eklund, I think.
Eklund.
So they have some decent complementary pieces to go with Smith and Celebrini and
what should be a boatload of money to spend.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So. Zach Case, I forgot Coyle was on this team. Trade him. I mean, I've been saying that for a couple of years, but I really mean it now. I mean, Coyle is the guy that I would trade, because I really don't think you're going to lose all that much at this point in his career. From like if you're worried about making the playoffs, you're not going to miss the playoffs because you missed Charlie Coyle. Like I just believe that you can have Patra play there or somebody else, whatever, and Coyle can be the guy that you kind of maybe get something for.
Yeah, I think you could potentially get something back for Coyle, especially now that if he starts to score a little bit and produce a little bit. But it could be one of those things where if somebody looks at him and says, defensively responsible, wins faceoffs, big body, can possess the puck, has been in the playoffs, has produced in the playoffs some. So, maybe they think a change of scenery with him is something that would work, for whatever team that is, and will give up something to get him. And I certainly would entertain it. Like I've said before, to me, there's no one on this team that is untouchable anymore. In the right deal, I would trade anybody.
Yeah. Deanna McAlpine. Thanks for checking in, Deanna. I'm just so happy Patra is back for real. And I think we all are. I mean, I advocated for him to go down there. I think it did help him.
Yes.
I wouldn't have minded if he stayed a little longer, but he's coming up and he's already paying some benefits. He's the playmaking center that they need to develop and get going here. If he can be a viable second line center who can get 60 points a year or whatever, then that's great. Then that's really going to be helpful in this retool.
Yeah, I think he is their playmaking guy. He's the one guy who adds some creativity with his passing ability that could, maybe help some of these other forwards that are in the top six or playing in the top six to score some goals. You know, it was a great feed tonight from Patra to Coyle for the goal. Coyle's first goal. So, you know, you need him out there. And I was with you. I think sending him down to Providence was the right move at the time. And I agree that it helped his confidence. He even said it himself that it helped his confidence. And, you know, I'm with you all as well that I think they probably should have left him down there longer. But, you know, it came a time where, you know, they were so desperate for scoring at the NHL level that, you know, they couldn't wait anymore.
Sure. Mason Lohrei looked good. He has about 85 games he has appeared in, and he is just getting better the more he plays. He is the future of this team. AC Knight.
Yeah, the defense still worries me. The defense still worries me. I'm not sure he'll ever be an average defender in the league. If he is, then he's going to be very good.
Right.
If he's not, if he's a below average defender, then he's going to be, you know, a power play guy that makes, you know, plays now and again that you ooh and ah over, and then he gets, you know, walked around and people score shorthanded goals from time to time. Like, he's just not strong enough in his own end right now, and that worries me because I'm not sure how much that's going to change. He did start to play more physically a few games back. Whether he can sustain that, I don't know. But he's, you know, he's 24 now. So, you know, he's an older kind of rookie. So I don't know how much development is left is another part of my issue. But yeah, I mean, I hope he is. I hope he turns out to be, you know, I don't know who's a big rangy defenseman that can do what he does. There's not many of them. Brent Burns.
Yeah, not many. No, there aren't many. I mean, yeah, I mean, we hope he's good. I mean, we hope he.
I mean, I want him to be good. Believe me.
There. I mean, he can be a pretty good second pair guy, probably, if he is a potential. Sure, I don't think he'll ever be like a nails like top pair NHL guy just because of the lack of physicality and the defensive liabilities. But you want to throw him second pair there?
Yeah.
Then I think he'll be fine there. I really do. I think he's the least of your concerns, to be honest with you. He's one of the two young guys you have that mean a damn right now, that give you anything.
Oh yeah.
So you need him. So you
you definitely need him. Yeah, definitely need him.
You need to keep pumping him up. All right, next game coming up for your Boston Bruins is Wednesday night, and it's at the New Jersey Devils. What do you see in that one?
I see the Devils skating really fast. The Bruins.
Yeah,
and scoring goals.
Well, I mean, this is a
little slump right now. Are they in a little slump right now?
Yeah, they are in an offensive slump, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, as has been the case all year long, the Bruins are your get right team. So play the Bruins and get right. So I think New Jersey plays the Bruins and they get right. I think Jack Hughes gets right. I think Jesper Bratt gets right. I think Nico Hischier probably score. It's probably going to be like 5-2 Devils.
Sure. I think that could be true. All right, so that'll wrap it up. Hey, great audience today on a Martin Luther King Day, Inauguration Day, and all that stuff, but we won't talk about it. Bruins with a 6-3 win over the San Jose Sharks. They'll go at it Wednesday night. There's a back-to-back coming up. Wednesday night against New Jersey, and then Thursday against the Ottawa Senators again. So we'll see you all again Wednesday night. Until then, go Bruins.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.